आई होप आप सब्सक्राइब कर चुके होंगे। सैडली ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड कोरोना कोविड-19 का बहुत ज्यादा जो है हम लोग क्राइसिस में हैं। हर किसी के जहन में खौफ बैठा हुआ है। तो आपको कल मैंने डॉक्टर सोबिया से जब आप लोगों को दिखाई, डॉक्टर सोबिया ने आपको इसके बारे में डिटेल्स दी। सो टुडे मेरे साथ कौन है? मेरे साथ एक कोरोना पेशेंट सर्वाइवर है माशाल्लाह, who was 8 month pregnant when she got to know कि उनको कोविड-19 का उनका जो है कोरोना वायरस है। शी इज अ लविंग मदर नाउ, और ब्यूटीफुल डॉटर एंड अ केयरिंग वाइफ, मुनीजा अरशद। अस्सलाम वालेकुम मुनीजा, कैसी हैं?
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। क्या हाल है? आपका क्या हाल है जी? मैं
आपको
ठीक हूँ।
सबसे पहले तो आपको बहुत मुबारक।
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
अल्लाह पाक आपको सेहत दे। जितने देखने वाले हैं सबकी दुआएं आपके साथ। यू आर अ
थैंक यू, थैंक यू,
ब्रिलियंट।
थैंक यू सो मच।
तो
थैंक यू
आज
सो मच।
हम आपने हमें टाइम दिया। पीपल डोंट शेयर देयर स्टोरी, पर आपने ये करेज लिया। सो इससे ही साबित होता है कि हाउ ब्रेव यू आर। माशाल्लाह।
अगर इससे किसी को फायदा होता है देन यस आई एम विलिंग।
सो सबसे पहले तो आप ये बताएं कि व्हेन डिड यू फिगर्ड आउट दैट यू हैव कोरोना वायरस?
The classic symptoms for us, thankfully, was just those body aches, fever, and uh, I mean, the first day at least. Yeah, actually, it's the fever would go, like, for me the fever wasn't that bad, it was just the body aches, but I started coughing a lot, and I would get a bout of coughing for about an hour, and after that uh, I just can't breathe. I mean, I just couldn't breathe after that. It's like I was out of breath, so it was really hard to catch my breath. So that is what alerted me. But before that, it was like my mom in the house and then my dad in the house.
Oh.
Because the thing is, well, my mom had the same symptoms starting. She had body ache, she had fever, she didn't have cough, but that in itself was a little alarming. That first she had it, and then my dad had it, and then I had it. But
Then your brother.
and then my brother, yeah.
My
But
God.
yeah, that is what prompted us to uh, go online and see if there's anywhere that they're doing the testing or what. But even at that time, I didn't. I mean, my brother and I weren't really suspecting it's that. We were just thinking it's probably a viral
Wow.
infection or something. I mean, something very simple.
Right.
I mean, something general, like more like allergies or something.
Mhm.
But well, it turned out that we were all positive.
And you were pregnant, 8 month pregnant.
Yes, that's true.
ओ माय गॉड। तो क्या आपके, मैं जो इंग्लिश जिन्हें नहीं समझ आ रही, इन्होंने यही बताया कि इनको बहुत बुरी कफ की जो थी, एकदम खांसी छिड़ती थी, एंड ये सांस भी नहीं ले सकती थी। ये एक बहुत बड़ा सिम्टम था इनका,
Right.
जिससे हुआ फिर इनकी अम्मी, अब्बू, इनके भाई, क्योंकि ये प्रेगनेंसी में अपनी मदर के पास गई हुई थी, तो पूरे घर को एक साथ हो गया सैडली।
And that's the thing. The worst part was that we were taking all these precautions, और हम लोग घर में रह रहे, and hadn't gone out for like over a month, even way back. क्योंकि जहाँ पे मैं काम करती हूँ, जहाँ पे मेरा भाई काम करता है, we had work from home. So already we were working from home for like almost 1.5 months already.
तो यू वर्क
And
वेयर मुनीजा, आप कहाँ काम करती हैं?
I work at the UN.
यूनाइटेड नेशंस।
Mm, right. And thankfully, UN had actually even closed I mean, had started telecommuting way before. I mean, New York was on pause. So, I mean, we were all home. The only thing was, I mean, that I left the house for was to go to the hospital. And of course, I had to go for the regular checkups. And no one else from our house went out. But
तो यू वर
yeah.
फुल
And
हॉस्पिटल से आपने कैरी किया।
I mean, that is what we're assuming right now, as of right now. But of course, this thing is something you really can't, because even when we bring bread in or any grocery in, we wash it with soap and water, the outside at least, or clean it up before we even put it in the fridge. Like, that's how careful we were. So obviously, it has to do something. And the thing is also the way it progressed. My mom, I mean, she has so many underlying symptoms, and she was the first one to catch it.
Oh
So
my.
I mean, the assumption is straight that it was something probably that I caught, but I was asymptomatic in the beginning, but she caught it right away,
Oh,
and then
like maybe low immunity ka masla ho.
yes, that's exactly what the doctor said, because she had very low immunity and she has so many underlying problems. Like she has asthma, she has arthritis, she has diabetes. So she caught it right away. Like some people, depending on your immunity, it can take a while to show, for the symptoms to show. But for her, she caught it right away.
तो
So
आया आपके स्टेज के आपको जब पता चल गया यू आर पॉजिटिव तो उसके बाद मतलब इमोशनली फिजिकली आप पे स्ट्रेस आया होगा ना
obviously, it was just shocking. And the thing is, like, once they just let you know, there are no doctors, there's nothing over there, they're not giving you any like कोई आपको वो recommendation नहीं दे रहे हैं, आप क्या कर सकते हो, क्या खा सकते हो, what you can
epicenter
do.
New York is that main epicenter
Yes, so
and
it was just this whole fear, and no I mean कोई तसल्ली नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, कोई advice नहीं what you could do. I mean, so it's like you're just hanging in there,
oh my
and they're just like, okay, just wait it out, see how it goes. If
god
it gets worse, just go to the ER. And because I was pregnant, I wasn't allowed in any of those buildings also. So it's like the day I got tested, um, um, I was I mean, in the hospital, yeah. For me, I didn't go through the mobile testing because I was doing televisits with the doctor, and my doctor said my coughing was really bad, and that uh, she suggested I go to the ER immediately, and that's where they tested me. They did the what was that? I think
well,
it's the 15-minute the quick test,
right
right? And I tested positive over there, and I asked them to monitor my baby and stuff, and they said, you know what, this is the ER, and since you're positive, we would advise, since you have a gynae's appointment in 2 days, just go to that appointment. So I came home, but the problem was the next day. I mean, that day they told me, I mean, okay, I was positive, so I said, okay, I'll go to the gynae tomorrow, and then we'll figure it out together. But the next day, the gynae's office called me and they're like, sorry, you can't come here because you're positive for the virus, and we're not allowing any such patient in our building. And that has been the case all over.
all over
So,
New York
all over New York, unless you're really sick with respiratory illness, they're not taking you. So that was something that we had to go through.
it's
um,
really sad, and shocking because in California they are taking you in
yeah, over here that was the biggest issue, because they didn't have space. So the very few hospitals that were taking some other patients, they would just take them, they wouldn't really treat them. It's just like minor stuff, like, okay, you need an IV, which is what happened in the end with my dad, because all four of us in our house, apart from the initial body ache and fever for the first or second day, we had different symptoms. I had the coughing, whereas the whole month and a half, actually more than a month and a half, I just couldn't talk, because even talking or even drinking water, it would start that coughing, and then after that, that shortness of breath. And sorry,
it triggers your cough right
exactly. So, and then my dad, he had GI issues. Like, for him, it was मेदे की दर्द उनकी इतनी strong थी that initially they said, oh, no, it's appendicitis. And then they did one CT scan, then they did an X-ray, they did a CT scan, then they went to the hospital. Like, I mean, that was in the urgent care. And then they gave him oxycodone. I mean, that is such a strong
yeah
medicine. And even with that, he couldn't sleep, he couldn't rest, like 24 hours, he just couldn't. And he lost so much weight and he stopped eating. And that's when we got serious about it. Like,
yes.
he has to go to the ER. And so my brother took him to two different places, and they just said he doesn't have, at that time, they didn't know GI issues were part of it, were COVID related.
Okay.
So they're saying, no, it's not serious, it's not severe, it's just do the 14-day quarantine. And we're like, he's not eating, just give him an IV or something.
Oh.
But they just wouldn't take him, and because they were already, I guess, full with the the other patients. So finally, there was this one hospital that they said, okay, we'll give him IV, but that's about it because we don't have any GI doctors here. And that was another problem. Most of the other doctors were not allowed to go in their buildings.
Oh.
So most of the other doctors, they were doing visits, like they were doing video conferencing and stuff like that. So, but at least thankfully, I mean, they admitted him and they gave him IVs and like, stronger painkillers, even though the painkillers weren't really working on him. But even then, they still suspected it was appendicitis because it was such severe pain. And they did the CAT scan. Then they redid the CAT scan with contrast again because they didn't trust that one because of how severe his pain was. But it was just inflammation because of that.
Yeah.
And or yani ke, they just couldn't, at that time they couldn't figure out what it was that was causing it. So they just, I mean, the one thing I would say is still, I don't know what helped, but the IVs definitely did, of course, but they also started him on very high dose of vitamin C, and we personally think that is what really helped him, vitamin C through the IV.
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन यही था कि आपको कौन से विटामिन्स डॉक्टर या क्या चीज कोई होम रेमेडी थी जिसने हेल्प किया इस दौरान?
I mean, this was something that sare, you know how it is, कि there was so much misinformation, fake information, ये करो, वो करो, ये पपीता खाओ या ये क्या है, पाइनएप्पल से होता है, या गरम फ्रूट्स खाओ या गरम फूड्स यानी कि गरम ड्रिंक्स पियो, stuff like that, right?
लेमन डाल लो.
Exactly, or lemon say those who already have the cough, it made it so much worse. So these are things that the remedies weren't really, not all remedies were working. But this vitamin C thing, I mean, after my dad got that and he started seeing we started seeing improvements in him, that is when we realized that, I mean, that is one thing that is working. And we all started that. And I mean, I had already been prescribed with a vitamin C way before because of during pregnancy.
Okay. So nothing. The doctor prescribed you nothing.
No, there was nothing they could do. It was just quarantine at home and then let's see. I mean, just wait it out.
Yeah, Munisa, what is quarantine? हर कोई कहता है आप तो इससे गुजरी हैं. अब आप बताएं quarantine होना is what?
It's the same as lockdown. Quarantine is no different. You just stay home. The only thing is that if you, I mean, just try to stay away from the other family members के उनको ना spread हो जाए. पर हमारे तो all 4 of us were infected and it was really bad for all 4 of us, except for in my brother's case, which he just had the fever and a body ache for 1 day. The next day is like it was just very mild and that was it. And after that, he was okay. So he was the only one who was helping all of us.
I think that's the reason of his immunity, because he is young and he has good immunity.
I think so too. Yeah, the rest of us, you're right. It was that. But so what we were trying to do was like each of us staying in a different room and trying to wear masks around the house.
Nobody is inside to meet you. You are not going to meet anyone. That's the quarantine.
That is a quarantine. Yes, that's true.
So, मुनीजा, अभी आपकी बल्कि जो देख रहे हैं, क्वारंटीन बता दिया मुनीजा ने क्या है, और आगे हम बात करेंगे, लेकिन अपने अगले पार्ट में उसके लिए आपको देखते रहना होगा हमारा नेक्स्ट पार्ट. मुनीजा से अभी बता दिया कि कैसे ये इनको पॉजिटिव हुई, इन्होंने किस तरह से सफर गुजारा. असल चैलेंजेस तो इनके आ रहे थे अभी, और वो अभी हम इनसे पूछेंगे. उसके लिए आपको सब्सक्राइब करना होगा, देखते रहिए, और नेक्स्ट पार्ट में हम जानेंगे कि जो असल चैलेंज आया मुनीजा को, वो मुनीजा ने फिर कैसे फेस किया और इससे फिर कैसे क्या हुआ सब. सो कीप वॉचिंग, टेक केयर, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. अभी